We're live.
You use the song. It's so good.
I use the song at every chance I get.
Aw, thank you.
Thank you. And thanks to Bishop out there somewhere who put the intro together. So thank you all around. You guys are awesome. So fortunate to have you. Brian is back for another Deep Six Flicks, as well as Dragon Slayer and the unplanned pregnancy that we will not abort. Leon is here.
Damn.
You say unplanned. That makes it sound like I asked to come on. You invited me, girl.
Oh.
I didn't plan it. It just happened. But we're happy to have you here.
Boss.
Damn.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much. Because we watched this film together a couple nights ago, and by God, was I very disappointed at first because you're like, hey, we're going to be doing Dr. Caligari. And I'm like, that is a classic. It is one of the most important films to film history. The original 1920 fucking silent film. And then you're like, oh, no, the quasi-erotic sequel from 1989. I'm like, oh, I'm going to hate this, I'm sure. How can you disrespect that? And then I loved it. I fucking loved it. So let's go.
And this was actually Brian's recommendation. So thank
Yeah,
you.
it
None of
definitely
us had
was.
seen it.
It definitely was. Yeah, I was worried that we'd have to, you, because you do all the work, would have to edit out all the bazongas, but like, we can make it work.
Yeah, we definitely can.
Yeah, I had much the same experience as Leon. Like a buddy of mine kept on trying to get me to watch this, and I'm like, I've seen Dr. Caligari like 1,000 times, German major. And he's like, no, the opposite of that. Okay, all right. This is now like in the pantheon of my go-to movies. So
dude, I thought for sure they were going to make a mockery of the original, and they oddly don't.
Yeah, like I think the only thing to carry over are the weird doors, and that's about it.
There's a little bit, yeah. The German expressionism style in general of all the angles and stuff, yeah.
Before we jump into it, I need to recognize some super chats. Adam, $2. Moxie gave us PTSD from this movie. You're welcome.
It's okay. It's normal.
And also 5 memberships. Thank you, Adam. And I'm sorry for the hoarseness, but it is getting better, despite what Leon tells you. Thank you, Adam. and Words of Paradise. You might as well read your own. Thank you.
So good.
Oh,
It's
man.
become part of the lore for my Discord and like just our friend group, like backstage and stuff. So we've got gifts made. Chinchilla. It's just going to be all over the place now.
Indeed.
And Raiden Cage for 2. Hello, Mama Moxie. Hello. And Dragon Slayer. Dr. Caligari's based.
So based.
100%.
Oh, gosh. So you mentioned, like, Leon, that you thought it was going to shit all over the original.
I really did. Yeah, I thought this movie was going to shit. Just destroy the legacy of the original.
So, okay, the intention of this stream, just for those of you in the chat, we do not want to spoil it for you. So we're just going to talk about takeaways and maybe show you some little disturbing things here and there. But we're not going to walk you through it like we have done on like my Star Trek show or my Twilight Zone or the last one we did here, because this one is just too good. Hopefully it piques your interest and you go check it out and, find your new thing.
If you can. This movie is a bitch to find.
It is very hard to find. Like, I think you had to provide us with like a link to like an obscure website that preserved it, right?
Yeah.
It's so hard to find.
That website seems a little sussy, to be honest, but
it is.
It is on Shudder, though, to be fair. It is on Shudder. So if you have the streaming service Shudder, you can watch it there.
Good call.
That's true.
Okay. And depending on what country you're in, R2 Litu's in Scotland, he wasn't able to see it on YouTube, but there is a paid version on YouTube as well. So you just got to know what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And so why we would call this one a deep sixth flick to me, especially with the previews that I had seen beforehand, and it seemed like it was popular on MTV. They were talking about it. Like people were talking about it during that time. I was too young when it first came out to have it on my radar, but being a kid of the 90s, it never came up. And I'm so surprised.
It just evaporated. Like there was this weird just memory hole it fell into, but I'm happy that we can bring it to the Deep Six Flicks audience tonight.
We're spreading our disease. Oh no.
Which
I have questions about that component.
What's that?
the oozing wound portion of the movie.
Yeah, lots of oozing wounds for a sex movie, but you know.
Yeah.
Or than
Yeah,
I'm used
I
to.
looked at it as a total plus for this film. So
Heyo.
Good
Well done.
grief.
Well done.
Good one, sir.
Mr. Brian,
Mhm.
Leon is also a wizard of words, as some might
All
say.
right.
So
Okay,
Oh.
very cool.
you may have to have like a word off at some point.
I would like nothing more, but like in rewatching it, I mean, there's 1,000 things, but one of my favorite parts is that every line, if it was in another movie, would be the T-shirt. You know what I'm saying? Like, well done, Jay Goodwin. Like, you know, they make shirts out of like Wolfman's got nards or You're Killing Me Smalls. Like,
Yeah.
it's just nonstop with this movie. Like, Juice Me Out a Shiver Boy. Like, I forgot about that, but that's wonderful.
There were so many great lines. Like, hold on, this
Felt like I
one
was
cracked
doing
me up.
lines watching this movie.
Oh yeah, I see that face, and I'm a love slut.
Here's
I
one
want
thing.
that on a T-shirt.
This movie is not super quotable because there are so many good lines, but they're like all monologues. Like this is only one small segment of like an insanely quotable monologue of like just ridiculous
Mr.
shit
Burns'
she says.
diseases all trying to get through the door at once.
I also loved about the movie, like how it just takes like I mean, you gotta remember this movie was written in the 80s, so they were taking a little stab at like the whole traditionalist values at the time. So like that whole paradigm that the movie tries to point out with Miss Van Housen, I thought that was very interesting in general. You know, like if you actually focus on the theme that they're trying to get at, you know, just the whole concept of the madness and sadism of the doctor herself.
Right. So we didn't even like tell anyone yet who Caligari is. So I'm gonna get to her intro in a second, but this is just too topical as far as like the bangers.
This flicker is my vortex. See the neon? I got an EKG you can dance to. Everybody limbo. I had a legendary twitch in Nagasaki.
That was amazing.
That was
so
great.
Beautiful.
This is wonderful.
Her voice is fantastic too.
Yeah, and she's really good. She's like, it's this insane movie, but that's a great point. Like, she's really good.
Throughout the whole movie while we were watching, I was like, this person is a discount Carrie Fisher in her looks, but her attitude is something all its own. Like,
100%.
Good call.
So okay, so let us at least introduce who Dr. Caligari is. So actually, it'd be better if I shared the screen, wouldn't it? So she's got visible nipple holes. She's a little quirky.
Pee-wee Herman's Sexy Playhouse.
Yep.
Yeah, something like that. And she's supposed to be is it the granddaughter or great granddaughter of Dr. Caligari from the 1920s?
Granddaughter, I believe.
Okay.
yeah,
right.
granddaughter.
Forgot about that. Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah.
fun
The reason it's
factoid.
called Dr. Caligari, she actually is. It does in fact tie to the original. You find out near the end. So
Yeah, that was very interesting how they tie in onto the originals.
Like, of all the movies to tie in. All right.
Very
Hey,
strange.
look, they did it before it was cool, okay?
Yeah.
But even in the opening credits, they use stills from the original movie.
they do.
Yes.
Which that's interesting. I still have yet to see the original. I've been too like into this one.
Yeah.
I had to watch it a second time to like go back and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna watch it the first round. We had a watch party. Everyone was disturbed and it was fantastic.
Okay. All right. Was it a fun watch party?
It was wonderful. It was
Okay.
hilarious.
Very fun.
Yeah.
I normally
wow.
hate watch parties because like there's just a bunch of people sitting around watching a movie together, being quiet. Nah, dude, we were having a blast with this.
Okay.
Bitch.
Great.
And
Great.
I'm gonna be real. As gross as the movie is, there are some scenes that are legit kind of hot. Like,
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Well,
especially in the beginning.
It is. I mean, in terms of what we can say without spoiling things, that's actually how this was introduced to me, was a watch party. So if that sort of thing appeals to you at home, and your parents aren't in the room, this is definitely a great watch party movie.
Definitely not one to watch with your parents unless Well,
unless that's
yeah,
just
definitely
saying-
not one to watch with your
I
parents.
remember my mother's
Yeah.
a prostitute. I'm surprised she didn't show me this film. So,
Although incest is another element of it with
Right?
Oh Jesus.
There's so many layers.
right.
Nah, man.
Why
I was
it's
watching
messed up.
I was watching this whole film, and like I'm thinking like in like the movie critic brain over here. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is all good, but like, what's the main focus here? And it took me a while before like I realized, oh, okay, you know, it's about like the whole psychological factor, isn't it? And you know what? Because of that, I was able to enjoy the movie more. But like,
you mean the movie where the main character is a psychiatrist as a psychological factor? Holy shit, Dragon!
look, Leon, shut up! Like I was trying to think of deeper meaning. God damn it! At first, I was like, is this supposed to be more erotic or psychological?
Well, they
Are there
made
lines?
the 1,000 points of light joke, which I also
Yeah.
forgot about, which is like, wow, that's something I'd totally forgotten about. If you're 1,000 years old like me, you'll remember that from the first Bush administration.
So Leon described it as an acid trip.
Yeah.
One of my
It
cousins
is an
also
acid trip.
shared it with her. Same thing. Didn't share opinions or whatever. She's like, that was a total acid trip. Oh, coach.
And like,
my
the thing
membership.
is-
Hey, thanks, Gooch.
Oh, wait.
Thank you, Gooch.
I don't know if you okay, so for anyone that's actually done acid, it's a very difficult thing to recreate. Like TV shows and movies don't get it wrong all the time. This movie doesn't. Like it's actually like I was making the comparison and being genuine about it. I don't know if that's what they were trying for, mind you, but that's what it put me in the headspace of.
They weren't trying to do that, but it definitely put people in that headspace. Like like the whole time, you're just trying to figure out like, well, what the fuck is going on, and then like it just perfectly drags you back into the main plot of what it's all about. So you know, I got to give the movie credit. Like it somehow kept you like it kept people anchored to the plot while still driving you nuts with its randomness.
Right, because it's especially with psychological horror films, right? You don't know what's a hallucination or what's real life, even as the viewer. And then it's like this pretzel of what's happening, and then at the end you're still a little confused. Even on the second watch, it made a little more sense, but still, I was like, "Wait, was that real? No. Okay, we're back in the asylum."
Because it's so bonkers, and you're like, I don't know what's going on, but it keeps just enough of a tenuous plot thread to be like, okay, they're trying to take that person down, and like that guy's against whatever, and then she's trying to blow a scarecrow, and you're like, okay, now you kind of lost me, but then you get back.
Well, the plot also doesn't really kick in to like the 20. First of all, this is a short movie, guys. This is a 120-minute movie, or an hour and 20 minutes movie. I mean, it's a short movie. The plot doesn't really kick in to like 20 minutes in because it's just setting up this world through pure visuals. It's kind of amazing.
Yeah, Adam got it. A lot of repression and projecting themes. So without giving the plot away, and you can get a lot from just the previews that are out there. So we have the mad scientist, but mad psychiatrist in this regard. And she's doing experiments on her patients. And it focuses on a couple of them, and then there's some, side players or, side characters. But something, and I didn't get the clip for this one, but there was a point where it shows her on the phone, and it says CIA. So it's like she's getting grants from the government, and it's like, oh, this is reminiscent of certain things in the past. Like, leave it to you to decide which kind of conspiracy theory that would tie to. But
Gulf of Tonkin. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Sorry.
Thank you for keeping the mystery.
Of course.
It's not, by the way, it's not actually Gulf of Tonkin. I was just making a joke.
Man.
But the visuals are so like kooky. A little
it's really wild. And
again, I think this was them actually honoring the original, because again, the original is a German expressionist film. And so they're doing this movie, 80 years later, something like that. And they're keeping all the weird angles and jagged edges and like and the matte black background, which is again very common in those sorts of older films. So like from a visual perspective, they're saying, hey, let's do what the original did, but also 80s-ify it. It's this really interesting blend that I thought worked way. Again,
It really
I thought
did
it
well.
sucked, and
To
it
me,
worked really well.
Late 80s is very much early 90s as opposed to the rest of the 80s. So it has like the sign at the beginning. It's so like Friends adjacent looking to me.
That's fun.
Like
brutal.
the style.
Yeah, I get you.
Here.
Yeah, right.
You know, it's fun, and it's like it's entering the 90s feel.
Why
Yeah,
did this
we
give me
look the
Nickelodeon
same.
vibes, man?
Totally.
See,
It does give you those Nickelodeon vibes.
3D geometric shapes were big for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's because we had just more or less figured out 3D technology. I mean, I made a joke backstage about your background being reminiscent of like Max Headroom and whatnot. Like it's this sort of culmination of we can do shit visually we've never been able to do before, and it stuck whether it be 2D or 3D. It's a great art style, if not a little dated.
And by cones, I mean the actual geometric shape and not Dr. Caligari's outfit there. Or Caligari, because no one agrees how to pronounce her name the whole movie.
Oh, yeah.
There was it's not just her. So many characters or ideas or whatnot have different people pronouncing things differently. And part of me was like, this had to be because it happened so much. It had to be an intentional choice.
I mean, they could get away with it like perfect. Like, even if it was a mistake, you could play it off as like we meant to do that, because the rest of if like that's the thing that breaks you and not like her having special relations with her husband and her newly dildified arm, but not to spoil it.
Also,
how
I don't want to be reminded
word.
of that,
was
but
a
okay.
little shocking.
That was shocking. Yes, indeed.
How strange is it to use Dutch angles in a German film? So
good one. Oh man.
And her German is terrible when she actually counts backwards from 10. It's really bad.
Yep.
That was painful. It sounded so clunky and awkward.
Right.
And German doesn't sound good to begin with. So
I think the way it was described to me, it's like it reminds people of just like a very angry dog barking at you. I think that, but again, that was told us by old person. So
a dog or a chinchilla.
Exactly. Chinchilla.
That's all this woman says in the whole movie, right? In like
so
different instances.
And then when she lays it on like all sexy, like chinchilla, I was like, yeah. Now I wish I didn't know that, like that. I needed that now,
And so it's great because like I used to own a chinchilla and they're so fucking soft. So when she does the sexy version, I'm like, I'm picking this up. I see what you're doing here.
Oh my.
Oh fuck no.
I never wanted to talk to investor. I'm just saying I get it.
No, you understand. Like that's the T-shirt for this episode. I wouldn't fuck a chinchilla, but I understand.
Oh.
And then you have
too small. You need to do something like a capybara.
God damn it, Leon.
Yeah.
No.
Oh. God damn it.
I am a tongue bomb.
Of course, just random tongue bomb.
We loved close-ups of faces on staticky TVs in the early 90s for some reason.
We do.
Yeah, for some reason that was just a thing.
When he loses, well, I don't want to spoil it too much, but like, when his mouth goes away, like later to be copied by the Matrix in 10 years later, and then it shows up on the TV. I was like, okay, that's like actually kind of dope. Like that's some music video stuff. I thought that was cool.
I'm not gonna lie, like that scene of like the random flesh wall, that was nuts. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, you're not gonna get an argument from me, man. Like, yeah, it was nuts.
No, yeah, it's just like, damn.
I have a sneaking suspicion you will not get copyright claimed for anything in this film. So
yeah, no, we're not gonna get copyright claim. This thing is so obscure.
I think we're fine.
Yeah, just this
the mouth wall.
How did they do that tongue? It doesn't look bad at all.
Yeah,
no,
it doesn't look
The
bad at all.
practical effects are actually pretty.
They're pretty
decent.
good. Yeah, they're on point. I won't lie. Like those practical effects in the animatrons are perfect.
So the original film is considered to be one of the first horror films of all time. I tried to say it correctly for you, by the way, Moxie. I'm doing my best here.
Thank you.
I had to consciously think about that. And this
actually, I think Brian might say it the way that you say it because he's.
You say horror?
Oh, Yeah, horror. Like he's like,
I say horror, and she gets onto me every fucking time. And so
I just say horror, man.
Because I spent 5 years in Boston and I didn't pick up the accent except for the words horrible and horror.
I've never been to the Northeast. I've only grown up in the Midwest. Ironically, on the Cherokee fucking Nation, where people are speaking, Indian languages and shit. And I say horror and horrible. Yeah.
Where are you in the world?
I'm still in the Midwest.
Where though?
I can say the same. I've done it before. I'm in Missouri.
Okay. You're like. No one's gonna it's somewhere in Missouri. Is this guy?
Yeah, I grew up in.
I'm from
Missouri
Wisconsin,
and Oklahoma,
so I was just
Missouri and Oklahoma. So deep Southern accents and shit. And for whatever reason, I say horror and horrible. I don't know why. It's just what sounds correct.
How in God's name did you end up with that kind of act, man?
Well,
I got questions.
The point I was trying to make was since the original is considered one of the first horror films, this movie also does you forget. That's what it's trying to do, because there are points where it gets ridiculous. There's points where it gets kind of psychological, but then there's moments where this is
ridiculous to you. This is ridiculous to you.
Yeah, that was
this was wild. Hot. This was sexy. I was like, oh,
kick that chinchilla right out of bed for this.
Fuck that chinchilla. Give me this. Oh man,
that was that. For all the craziness in the movie, that scene is still because it smash cuts to it. You're like, yo, I forgot about that one too.
To me, that was just one of the more tame ones. I just looked at him like, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, compared to the tongue wall and all the other crazy crap. Yeah.
The most unsettling thing in the whole movie, at least to me, is the husband and wife and their mirrored movements.
Yes.
And every time that happened, I was like, this
creeped out.
So weird.
The brother sister husband wife or the husband wife?
Yeah,
no.
The brother sister husband.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one. That was so odd.
Jesus. The hot sister husband wife. I was like, I was trying to figure out where I saw her before. And it was just it was drilling a hole in my brain. And I finally figured out.
Let me guess. She looks like a backup dancer for what was that Canadian? Oh my God, In Living Color. I don't know if I'm right, but that's what she reminded me of.
She would be an awesome Fly Girl. Yes. But she is also a reoccurring character on Babylon 5 as a doctor. So I'm wondering if she showed this as I can play a doctor, in her reel,
demo reel.
Right. I was in this erotic sex horror as a brother fucking kind of doctor.
So, okay. So the dude refers to her dad, who works at the clinic or, hospital, whatever this asylum is. It's supposed to be her dad. She's the husband, but he refers to her dad as father. So it seems like a brother, sister.
Yeah, are they actually brother and sister? Because he does say it once in the film, father-in-law.
I thought it was just they were just a very odd couple, I thought that was just because in the movie, from what I understood, the father was that dude, the old man was the girl's father, and he was married to her somehow. But
they both call him dad, and he refers to both as his kids, which is why I didn't realize they were just a married couple. At least I think they are, until he literally says father-in-law.
Okay. I missed that. Thank you.
Yeah, it's still wild though. I could be fucking
wrong. I don't know. It's the only time it happens in the whole movie.
Yeah, you're right. It's kind of weird how they do it, but in reality, they're a married couple. It's just he the old man is the dude's father-in-law, but it's still nuts.
It's pretty brother sistery, even if it is up and up.
Straight home Alabama. Literally at this point.
This is a good one. This isn't previous. I'm not spoiling shit for anybody. This is just.
Dr. Caligari has crossed the line between radical therapy
and outright human experimentation.
She has a total disregard for patients' rights.
And a morbid fascination with pain and suffering.
She's no longer a research doctor. She's a flat-out sadist.
An outright perversion of medical laws, a sex Nazi.
If somebody ever calls somebody else a sex Nazi nowadays, that's compliment.
My new DJ name for sure.
That's the next song I'm gonna write. Yeah, the next song I'm gonna write is gonna be fucking sex Nazi.
Sex Nazi.
I'll remix that as the sex Nazi remix.
Please do.
Oh man.
No, it'll be the I can't, if the song is Sex Nazi, I can't call it the remix. No, it'll be the Filthy Prayers remix, because that's what I'm.
There you go. I like it.
My thoughts are like filthy prayers, like right out of the gate. Yes.
Oh,
I
man.
love it. Their whole familial dynamic though is so strange, and I mean their meal choices as well. The Trotters was so freaking funny.
Like, why? There's no reason. It's so good. But at the same time, they're like a much more functional family than like mine. So it's like, maybe we just need to eat unprocessed raw sheep legs.
Damn.
Until they attack you.
So while this is actually one of those scenes that did bother me while we were watching it, because cooking is my favorite hobby. I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh no, they could have cooked this so much better. Like I was actively trying. I took this
hard boiled.
I was like, why didn't they shave it and actually cook it? Like
funny.
you could do.
Then they shaved them.
Like, now it's gone too far.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I love that in the butter dish they had little shears.
Well, yeah, and he just shaves it at the table because he spent a summer in Australia or something. Like, I guess that makes sense. Causal logic.
Eat corn on the cob. Damn.
Sex Nazis,
bro.
Lyrical
legends.
No.
Yeah, I mean, anything in this movie, like, who wrote this? I didn't do any research on it. It's just like,
fun fact: one of the writers, R2Lee2, I don't think he's in the chat right now, but he looked into it, and one of the writers actually was a writer on Bad Boys 2.
That makes sense, actually. What the fuck?
How the fuck do you make sense out of that, Dragon? No,
no, that makes a lot of sense. No, because some of the sex elements and the showing of titties and everything, I was like, that makes so much fucking sense.
Yeah, but Martin Lawrence
titties were
blow a
everywhere.
scarecrow.
I know. I mean, yeah, but like, the whole like TV, like, when they go to the fucking Best Buy store and they just like showcase the goddamn clips and everything. I'm like, man.
Okay.
To be fair, Brian, Martin Lawrence doesn't. However, Will Smith is married to Jada Pinkett, and I can imagine that's pretty close to fucking a scarecrow. So.
Oh God, bro.
Yeah, this guy was next level. The I guess father-in-law.
Yeah, it's the father-in-law. It's the brown chick's dad, believe it or not.
The Indian chick's white dad. Sure.
It's a Latina, but yes. Go ahead.
Hey, R2 is here. The writer also wrote 2 episodes of Moonlighting with
I
Shepard.
could be wrong, but I think
Bruce
they were trying to visually stylize him after the original Dr. Caligari, by the way, like from the original. I don't know, or maybe that's just the guy just naturally looks similar, but
it's not far. Okay, it's not wildly off, but yeah, that was he was acting up a storm. That's for sure, swinging for the fences.
Oh yes, he was. He was fabulous. He was in it.
That was crazy.
And the what do I want to call it? The blocking, because the whole thing feels like a play. The loading and payoff of the cigarette in this scene just like kind of killed me when he
and they do it so much after this scene.
It's like a dance. It was actually pretty wonderful.
At one point they do it with just one cigarette and they share it, and it's awesome. Like,
no, she has 2 in her hand, and then as soon as he pops up, she hands him one.
Yeah,
but it looks like she just has one.
Because he
and it materializes out of nowhere.
Fingers ready. It's like, so the 80s were a wild time, I guess.
The choreography.
Choreography is a better word.
But yeah, this dude, he was.
Oh man.
Oh yeah. Oh my. Well, I mean, I don't want to
it kind of turns into a hate crime by the end of the movie.
Yeah, it does turn to a hate crime, but like, oh Lord, can I even mention this part? Or does that be leaning too much on?
Well, you got to do it now. You can't just bring it up.
Well, let's just say the doctor in her madness finds a way to like implant Miss Van Housen's, or the young woman, wife woman
Libido.
the libido is able to implant the libido into this old man because he found out that, you know, what Dr. Caligari was up to, so she did this as payback. And well, if you know any trans people from today, basically this is the shit that they were trying to go for. Okay, that's the truth. Okay,
I
feel
felt
very
so
strong
represented
allegory.
watching this movie.
I knew you were gonna fucking say that.
But there is that thing, right? We look through things through the lens of 2024 now, and it's like,
You can't help
my.
but make that comparison,
Bro.
It's really wild.
It's not too far of a
There's
leap.
literally a scene of this dude just going muff diving on the doctor. Okay, that's all
There's
I'm gonna
that.
say.
But there's also this.
Lend me a hunk of tongue.
He's in
Yeah.
it.
Oh, God.
Oh, that
I'm
was
pretty
saved
sure
in
that
my
exact
clips for
sentence is
forever.
why I got divorced.
Like a hunk of tongue, like not the whole thing, just like the majority of
Just a
tongue.
hunk of tongue.
Oh my
The lines are
God.
so.
Well, I don't know if you already have it queued up, but we haven't
one?
even touched the quiet star of the movie.
Oh.
One Gus Pratt, the cannibal. That was on point, Jess. That was quite impressive. But
Perfect.
He was fantastic.
that guy lost weight acting. He was just like
Mhm.
like rattling off these bonkers lines. Oh, so good.
His intro scene is actually one of the best directed in the movie. Like it's a
Mhm.
What do you
really
mean?
well when he's in the electric chair and whatnot. I'm not gonna say
Sure.
what's going down or anything because people need to see the movie. But like this character's in the electric chair and he's again monologuing. But the monologue, it's like if Shakespeare had a Down syndrome cousin.
Yep.
It's
Yeah, that's
so
about right.
good.
Yeah, they tried that as the original tagline, but just went with the Mad Doctor is in after the fact. But I think yours is better.
Yeah, no, it's about right. Yeah, no, like I like the whole like introduction.
You
he
have a
did of the
bird? I
cannibal.
just noticed. Like that's so great. Aw,
Yeah, it's Hondo right there. His
that is wonderful.
the trusty
Aw.
bird.
I love him. He's my baby.
Pretty cute.
That's
Hondo actually runs the show. He's controlling Leon this entire time.
yeah. Who you're
Mechanism.
the one you're hearing is actually Hondo, not Leon. Hondo is just trying to pretend that he's not a human. But no, I have to say, like the whole cannibal character I thought was a very interesting introduction in general. Like just how they
Yeah.
do it. You know, the whole background story and how they set him up and how it makes so much sense near the end of the film why he does what he does. You know, like it's just perfect. It just fits. That's all I want to say without spoiling.
I was absolutely sure it was going to be like, like the breast cancer in The Room or something, where it's just brought up and never touched again. But like, it totally pays off at the end. I was kind of impressed.
Yeah, no, it was interesting.
Whereas
payoff, I'll give you that.
with other characters, they don't really give you resolution, really.
Right.
You know, that one actually went
Well,
to
you also-
completion.
Sorry. So Brian brought up the unsung hero, also a secondary unsung hero. He's only in like maybe 3 scenes, but her like assistant, who is the actor.
The actor, yes, the Italian actor.
Wow, good call. Good call.
I'm right. I'm blanking on the character's name, but he is every scene he is in, he steals all 3.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It's
The
Giovanni
unicorn
or something, right?
spike is amazing. I think Halloween may be sorted for next year. That's a good call, man.
That's a good one. And
And,
I love how there's so many entrances and exit where they just roll in and roll out. You're not
yeah, very, very role-based movie.
Ah,
I didn't even
delayed
need to do that.
response.
But yeah. Oh, so much to take away. Like I as an industrial musician, I can't help but watch a movie and like try to find the sample. But like with this, it's like it's fish in a barrel, like why even try to sample it? Like you could drop that needle anywhere on the record and just get gold.
Well, I actually don't like the trailer for this movie because it's so not representative of what the film is. Like, because when we watched the trailer, the reason I thought that I was gonna fucking hate it was because it actually lays out the movie as a sort of cohesive storyline. It does not give you the insanity that this movie actually is at all.
Yeah. No, I'm looking at that trailer right now, and yeah, it absolutely makes no sense. Like, it's so
different vibe.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a different vibe. Like, have you ever seen? I mean, I guess okay. I'm not saying it's equal to it, but have you ever seen a film like Hellraiser? It's kind of that sort of delving into madness sort of film. So
Hellraiser is like Teletubbies compared to this, though.
I know. That's why I said it's not equal, Leon. Okay,
it's not far off, though. No, I can pick up what you're putting down.
Yeah, like I'm just trying to say, it's sort of like that, but unfortunately, some movie
pain
studios
mixed with pleasure. That whole
exactly, and unfortunately, some of these marketing teams they don't advertise them properly, and that's usually what
I mean, it would be a tough elevator pitch. Like, within the first 30 seconds, she's gonna get into a bathtub and have her wrist slashed by a guy in a Cupid doll mask that later bangs her on a table in a doorway. Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
No, while she's watching she's watching the weird masked dude bang her alter ego, okay, or her clone. I don't even know what the fuck that was.
She's outside of herself.
It was hot, is what it was.
Again, I wasn't joking. There are parts of this movie that are unironically sexy, and then they take it too far into the realm of like, fuck, what is going on here? Like,
yep, they do.
Still gonna be shifty though in your seat there, right?
Absolutely,
a little bit shifty. Yeah, she is gorgeous. Like, I mean, if you're gonna have somebody naked, like, she's a good-looking lady.
Mm-hmm.
So I turned it on in the Discord watch party, and one of the guys here in the chat, he's like, this is porn.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, maybe.
You're not wrong.
Soft kind,
No, I don't think it is.
Variety.
I don't think this is porn. I think this is just a very sexually charged movie without actually crossing that line into being pornography.
Random act of titty.
I mean, if she were doing what she was doing on film in a room with hundreds of people standing around her, like ready to, like, the little clap, it's art. It's performance art.
I wasn't sure where that was going at all.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, so that's what you want to go in. Okay.
Kind of like this movie.
Well done. Well done.
Oh man.
This guy, he's
great. I love this actor. I don't know. I need, like, this is the best, to me, this is the best character out of this entire film. Okay.
This guy is like if Tom Green had talent.
Well done. I did feel bad for the husband, though. Like, he's just trying to do the right thing, and he ends up getting like supremely shafted. Pardon the pun.
Yeah.
Then
that was uncomfortable.
Oh man.
And he gets like a lampshade on his head later. No spoilers.
But was that a hallucination? I'm thinking it was a hallucination because he was poisoned, drugged.
He was drugged. Oh yeah. Okay.
And she didn't have that appendage later. So. She did.
Well, when we say that appendage, you guys will have to watch the film to know what we're referring to, because my God, that is certainly an appendage.
Yeah.
Poor Adam.
Adam, look, man.
I did think her hair was better after she went crazy, though. So there's that.
Oh yeah, the big hair.
Yeah.
So
you lose your mind, but you look kind of foxy. So
what was
great
kind of
volume?
Yeah.
Adam says this. However, he has also so far donated like $30 in super chat. So
thanks,
not only do we watch this,
thank you, Adam.
And now he's basically paying to hear about it again. I kind of respect the fuck out you, Adam. I really do.
Well, it kind of goes in line with the theme of the movie and the whole sadist sex Nazi thing.
Yeah, that's not wrong.
That's true.
Oh,
what surprised me is just like how they picked the actresses to play Dr. Caligari and Van Helsing, right? The fact is, like, when you're watching near the end, you don't even realize, like, with just a change of costume, how they can look, and just good, like, makeup in general, they look so similar to each other. You know how they design the clothing and everything, right? Like, unless you pay real close attention. So
doesn't she look like Eva Green or Eva Green?
Dr. Which Caligari? One? Kind of. If it was like a
wow, Yeah,
Kinda, yeah,
look.
kinda, yeah. Yeah, I
How
could
many people with the last name
Mog
Green are we
do.
going to bring up on this stream?
God damn it.
Sorry, it was the second time in like 5 minutes. Like,
Fair enough, Leon. Oh man.
Eva Green for the remake. I don't know
yes,
if you could redo this, but
it would be
curious.
tricky.
Everyone's curious now.
I don't ever want to see this remade. This is a perfect time capsule of like
It is
of midnight madness movies of this era.
because they would try to CG it all, and it's just that something about the practical effects just works way too well, I think, for this movie.
Yeah.
Like, if it's going to be remade, it needs to be done by like film students and put on YouTube for free as a way for them to get like an A+ in their their college course.
There you go.
That sounds fair, actually. Yeah, because like these days I wouldn't trust like a current day studio to pull it off. I don't know why, but like,
would it be a remake or like a sequel to this? Do you think?
I would
I'm
say
not
they would
opposed to a
remake it.
sequel to this, but how the fuck do you make it even weirder? Oh, actually,
No, actually,
have
you could
idea.
make it weirder. Yeah, you could.
Yeah,
make it
like
weirder.
like Pratt here, like he goes on to like start his own like psychic hospital or whatever, psychiatric hospital or psychic hospital, you never know. And yeah, that'd be good. And what else? Like the actor guy whose name we can't remember, he's heavily involved. Like he's like the mayor. I don't know, we'll figure it out.
Leonard's gonna go to film school tomorrow and make it happen.
Thanks,
Godspeed,
Leonard.
Leonard.
that was weird.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway,
let's watch this clip because it's really good.
Skin when it gets crispy. Sweat's what makes it tasty, don't you know?
Now who's the chatterbox? Now who's moving his lips?
I'm sorry. Still gonna do me now, aren't you? Still gonna.
Maybe.
The fact we get chinchilla before the electrocution is the best part.
That's beautiful. There's so many left turns or like just unexpected things that happen in this. It's just like I can't cut
I
it
am
out.
a love slut for this movie, I think. Boom! Fist bump.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh. Let me see. Oh, there's oh gosh. So the one of the later close to the end scenes, you get this, it looks like a 90s poster inside like a nail shop or a Carl's Jr. back in the Jack in the Box with that abstract art.
Totally. This is inside an album cover.
Right?
No, I disagree. This is the inside of Tim Burton's imagination.
That
There you
definitely I agree really on that shit. It's definitely Tim Burton's imagination. Oh man.
there's
if
a lot
it was
going
unhinged
on.
and high on acid.
Yeah.
He wishes he could make a movie like this. I'm
Very
gonna be real.
new
Like,
That's
Tim
true.
Burton wishes. Like Tim Burton is Weenie Hut Jr. compared to this shit.
You think Stephen King would? I mean, if he had the right amount of drugs,
for the
though.
remake.
Oh,
It looks like a
goodness.
mini bar, but it's like the lab.
Yeah, it does look like a mini bar.
And it looks like a little pool, but it's like this
Mm.
oozing sludge. This looks radioactive, slime.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It looks
The
like
movie
a
also
garden
periodically
party.
Does that? It will take the camera, point it at the ground, and then just start doing a panning shot of the fucked up grass. It's weird. I love it. It's weird. It makes no sense.
It's just good for atmosphere, you know. I mean,
Atmosphere.
it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good filmmaking for the purposes of this film.
Look at the
That
sky.
sky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Well, actually, this is a basement. Believe it or not, according to the movie. So, like, that's supposed to be in the underground basement, which makes me ask the question, like, so are they all in the basement the entire time? Because, like, it's
I'm
the
just
same
impressed
landscape.
that Caligari can grow trees in her fucking basement. Like, that's
I
impressive.
know.
Not only is she a world-renowned psychiatrist, but green thumb. I appreciate it.
Very
Green.
eco-friendly.
Green.
Yeah.
Did you do that on purpose, Leon?
Fuck, I didn't,
said-
but that's awesome. No.
Oh man.
Oh
All right,
my
what
goodness.
slide we got next? Because we got to wet
Yeah.
some
All
people's whistles here.
Oh, my
This movie
whistle
made-
is
this
wet.
movie wet. Yeah, there it is.
Okay. I have 2 more clips that I have prepared. Hold on.
Leap
But I
God, this
just-
isn't a Harris Waltz ad. God damn it. We're not trying to go that far.
Libby.
You say
No,
Harry-
I oddly enough, this makes more sense than the Harris Walls ad.
That's true. That's
I might
true.
have voted for her if this was the ad. It's kind of dope.
Right? Missed
Oh,
opportunity.
goodness.
Woo-wee, my fuzzy button feels fluffy. Fish in my belly.
I love these. I love the lines in the show. I love it.
I think I'm gonna have to change my Tinder bio to I'm gonna make your fuzzy button floppy good.
I mean, it's a banger.
I mean, you know.
I mean, that's the point of it.
Heyo.
It's a paracosm. 32.
Oh,
$2
yeah.
for a $10 word. I don't even know what that means.
I know. I don't. A detailed imaginary world that is often developed during childhood and continue into adulthood. It can
Deep
include
sick
real world.
flick. Expanding your vocabulary and your wiener. But
wait, so
You can also
basically,
say when you watch both films back to back, it's a paracosms.
oh, Keith.
we could end the show on that. That was amazing.
Thank you.
Oh,
He was his
man.
grinder and his grinder bio.
Look, I ain't picky. I take what I can get at this point. Jesus Christ.
This clip is perfect for the moment.
Ooh, gross. He's icky. I never want to touch a yucky man thing.
Damn, that sounds like every blue-haired feminist in Twitter right now.
Disavow.
The 4B movement.
Disavow. This is 2024. We're inclusioning. We're exceptional.
Ew, your yucky man things. We're not touching you at all for 4 years. Oh God!
I never want to touch a yucky man thing. Harris Waltz, 2024.
only clean man things.
Oh man!
Oh my gosh. What other points did you guys really take note or, scarring or, beautiful?
So, on a serious note, when you get to the end of this movie is when it starts actually making the connections to the original. And it is so legitimately impressive that they were able to take this, what should be a forgettable schlock fest that is just there for the sake of making you uncomfortable, and legitimately honoring the source material, because it ties
Totally
really well to the first film in a way that I could never have imagined they did. It takes throughout this whole movie, you're having fun and it's dumb and it's interesting, but they actually end up making it respectful. It is. You don't see that nowadays. I don't know.
It's quite amazing. Yeah, no, you're right. It is quite amazing how they were able to make the connection and still be able to stand on their own as its own film. So, props to the movie for doing that. Really,
very unique.
If Leonard actually does end up remaking this, I will volunteer for the role of the Scarecrow. You don't even have to pay me.
Of course you would.
I'll do it for free.
Is it because you don't have a brain?
I mean, it doesn't hurt.
Womp womp.
I volunteer.
I love the surprise.
Himself in the background.
Oh God.
There you go.
Debunked.
Yes, debunked.
Well,
did you say the chinchilla that hanged itself?
I said monkey, but chinchilla would have been so good. Fuck.
Well, we got there together, and I think that's what counts. It's the friends we made along the way.
Made along the way. Thank
you.
Oh, good.
So I didn't catch it at first, but her outfit, it's like, I'm going to presume they aren't real, but you can see nips. There's lots of boobage in this.
Well, I mean, there's lots of boobage, but they're just trying to be true to form. and what a form it is. But
What?
no,
Oh my.
you could, if you did a watch party, like you could probably get pretty close to the food, like because the food is like really prominent in this movie, like sort of fashion, some sort of ham hock lamb leg with the, I don't know, use coconut for the sheep hairs. And like whatever that.
Oh, you
the
mean
cake,
an actual
the
party?
cake with
and
the
cater it
intestines.
to
Like, yeah.
theme?
Yes.
Keebler. Okay, so next movie, are we watching Barbarella?
We could. Not a bad call, Keebler.
I didn't touch on like this guy's intro.
Yeah, what was that? Like they never. Go on. Sorry, I'm talking too much.
No. I was just curious, like you. Like I still don't understand, like what the women in the background are. Like, are they supposed to be mannequins or like real life patients that are just stuck in suspended animation or something like that? That was the only question I had about this entire movie. Just the background.
All of the patients that they show are frozen in certain poses.
Yeah, right.
And a common phrase in the movie is, "I know you're watching me." Like a lot of them say that. I know you're watching me. And then the wallpaper, when we have the gentleman spanking himself, the wallpaper has these eyeballs all over the place, the pattern. So I thought that was interesting. So there's like some, even though they're in their own world of hallucinations and frightening things or sexually charged things, or both, combine the two. They always say, "I know you're watching me." So they have this somewhat some awareness.
They say explicitly that. Go ahead.
Oh no! And then so the nymphomaniac character, Hottie McNaughty, she, like, in the scarecrow scene, Dr. Caligari appears, which, she's kind of in and out of their realities. So I just thought that was an interesting point, because she's like, "I know you're watching me," and then so, like with the scarecrow, she's challenging the patient to get frisky with the scarecrow. And she's like, "Okay, fine." Like, and that's when,
I know this movie had me hard as rocks. You can call me the Tin Man. Like,
speaking of Barbarella, this is completely off topic, but apparently Sydney Sweeney is rumored to star in like a Barbarella reboot for Sony. Just random thing I want to mention.
She did.
Yeah, it makes sense. Anyway, let's continue.
She'd be a fool if she didn't.
Exactly.
Hey.
Oh man.
Yeah.
This part.
This might be the most normal set in the whole film.
Yes. Right. This is these first 6-7 minutes, I think it is. It's completely.
And
regular.
then the towel comes off, and it's a roller coaster.
Yep.
Okay, why the obsession with yellow in this film? Almost
it is very yellow.
It is very obsessive. Well, I mean, think about it. Yellow is a very attentive color, right? It grabs your attention immediately. So it would make sense if they were doing this like in a psychological erotic thriller of sorts, that they would be trying to use colors that attract people's attention in order to, just be more focused on a character or a certain event or whatnot. Now, of course, they do make the strategic choice that the second she takes off the damn towel, she still has like, some sort of like very bright underwear that makes people still pay attention, right? So I say it's very strategic of the filmmakers in order to maintain retention. I think that's what they were trying to go for.
I had a thought, and I know it is not correct. It's just there's the Buddhist color wheel is really interesting because every main primary and secondary color all have meanings, just like in a lot of religions or a lot of storytelling and whatnot. But yellow in Buddhism it signifies luck. Yes. And there's no happy ending really to this film. Everybody kind of has bad luck throughout the whole thing. So it's just kind of funny that every character wears yellow and none of them are lucky, In
a lot of Renaissance kind of color theory, if you will, like yellow indicates like disease, like a jaundice or something like that. So to have this essentially take place more or less in a hospital for somebody who has, quote, a disease of the libido was interesting. But it is very striking. The viewer finds themselves wondering, like, what is up with all the yellow? And this shade of pink is very prominent too. It's very 80s.
I don't know what pink means in the boost color wheel. I'm gonna be real. I know red and blue.
I think we know what pink means. If you know what I'm saying.
I see what you did there.
Well, interesting enough, right? So, like the color yellow is also a way to signify happiness, and you could technically say that her insane libido gives her some sort of happiness, but at the same time, it doesn't for
Not
her
a bad interpretation.
I mean, that's just one thing, you know. And also pink.
She seems to be having a good time at several points in the movie.
And a very good time.
Yeah. Yeah, and also like pink. I mean, it's also shown for like, you know, love, nurturing, compassion, but also like eroticism and seduction, obviously. So that might be they probably use those strategically.
So the patients' not uniforms, gowns, they are either yellow or pink. So I'm sure there's something intended by it. But maybe it's the Buddhist color wheel.
And us plebeians are too stupid to understand such high art.
Follow the yellow brick road.
Naughty, naughty, naughty.
It's just too perfect.
It's just
so many applications.
Very on the nose.
Wow.
Oh goodness. No,
I was gonna go on.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I think we can call this particular flick a deep sixth.
Nah, it definitely is. Oh man,
absolutely.
So that was my go. I wonder who's up. I don't know who's up next. Oh no, we talking about. Never mind. I forgot we already talked about. But, that went nowhere. Sorry to you at home.
Well, we're trying to keep these shows to about an hour. I think we may have piqued the interest for people in the audience. Go check it out. Go watch it.
I will say, I give this film 4 chinchillas.
Oh my god!
I agree.
That's I give it.
You so did, Zach. You so did.
Wounds. Out of 4.
Okay, well, thank you everybody for commenting, super chatting, all the things, and allowing your ears to be assaulted, right? And eyes if you're the
as
watcher.
Usual.
I know you're watching me.
Oh my god.
So, Brian, what do you have up next? Space Couch on Sunday tomorrow?
Space Couch tomorrow is with my new bestie, Mike Harlow. It goes off. It's going to be great. Then we've got just a few episodes of my show, Space Couch. There's one of the hosts here is going to be my big year-end guest. I can't tell you who it is, but I'm very excited to have her on. And then
Leona, is that you?
Yes, right. The Gothsicles play South Bend January 10th, and that's gonna be cool.
Taking it back.
Yes, taking it back. And I don't know. Oh, I had a band on Space Couch earlier this year called Seraphim Shock, and I just came from seeing them live, which is cool to see like Space Couch guests in real life, and they were fucking great. So check out their new stuff.
Sweet. And Leon, what do you have up?
Several things. So tomorrow maybe a gameplay stream, depends on how drunk I get tonight, which means how hungover I end up being on Sunday. So may or may not be an episode of Pixel Paradise. Monday though, very important, awesome episode, because as I said on SNH, you guys are going to hear it a second time. In America, the home of the brave, the free, the fucking awesome, God's chosen people, Veterans Day. And so we're doing a Veterans Day stream. All my guests are veterans. We've got it's
awesome,
absolutely loaded and stacked. Roman of the Empire, Kata, Tombi, and House of Flux will all be on as we cover. I have no idea what, because it's a news show and no idea what the news is going to hold. But veterans, they're awesome. Support them, love them, appreciate them, what they do. Even if they're fighting for a destructive, corrupt government that frankly would rather see its people in chains than free, that's not their fault. They're doing what they think is right, and we appreciate them and love them for it. Tuesday, Tinfoil Haters. I have no idea what conspiracy we're covering yet, but Tinfoil Haters will happen. And then on Wednesday, over on Gooch's channel, we've been doing the George Lucas era Star Wars appreciation. We already did Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, and we will be covering the Genndy Tartakovsky animated series, The Clone Wars. Not that homo-ass Dave Filoni
the
shit.
one that has the Samurai Jack style?
One, yeah.
The good one from back then?
Oh, cannot wait to talk about Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Genndy Tartakovsky's animation is almost as surreal as this movie at some point. So going
Phenomenal.
over to the show, it's amazing. And then who knows for the rest of the week? I won't bore the rest of you, but thank you so much. This is a blast. Thank you for having me on. This is very last minute, but I will never say no to streaming with you. So thank you.
Thank you. And Dragon Slayer, what do you have on?
No, as I mentioned on SNH, I'm just gonna, give my quick opinion on the whole Dragon Age Veilguard situation, as far as it's been as far as it's been in the current time. And then I'll be talking again another quick topic regarding War of the Rohirrim and how I think that might be a potential disaster, probably not as bad as Rings of Power, but to that degree. I'll also be working on the Rings of Power review and maybe covering some movies and other topics that I may want to go on a tangent about throughout that week. But I'm very excited about that. Maybe on Coach's stream on Tuesday, if he brings it back, where it's sort of like your tinfoil streams, Leon, when we were doing them. But if that doesn't work, I'm more than happy to join for some good old conspiracy talking and occultism talking.
I have you planned as a guest at some point on Tinfoil Haters. Absolutely.
Definitely, sir. I'm always ready to talk about all that shit. I'm very big into that, believe it or not. And well, as usual, I may show up on Ryan's Tangent Kings stream, maybe tomorrow on Sunday. Not sure about that yet. And as always, trying to show up for SNH, and who the fuck knows? At this point, I might become the second stream joining ho like Leon. I don't know. But hey, it's all good. We're all here to entertain and have a good time as always, all right?
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here for another Deep Six Flick.
Oh, no, I'm always ready for more, Moxie. And recommendations, since I feel like I'm next in line, I mentioned this movie once. I'm going to mention it again. Violent Night. Leon, have you never watched it? I think it's if you ever loved Die Hard, you'll love that fucking movie on Christmas. It's perfect.
I haven't watched Violent Night, but
it's on Amazon.
I'm offered to come back. I will happily watch it by all means.
It's on Amazon, bro. Watch it. It's great. I promise.
All right. On that note, thank you, everyone. Have a good night. We will catch you in the next one. Bye.
I am a town bomb.